What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Your Letters and My Advice. Today, I got a very deep letter, and we will talk about why your ex should not be your next, why we judge people, how do they behave in their prime, man versus woman. We will dive into how you cannot rebuild yourself with somebody who helped you destroy yourself in the first place. And we are gonna dive very deep into whether people really change or not. Let me read the letter that I got from Ethan. Hi, hopes this find you good. I hope this find you in good spirits. I'm reaching out because I'm wrestling with something that feels like a plot twist in my own life story. Here is the deal. 3 years back, my world got flipped when my girl decided I wasn't the right she wanted anymore. Fast forward to now, things have changed, for me at least. I hustled, I grinded, and well, I made it. Good for you. Good for you, Ethan. Success is a funny way of rewriting your guest list, though. Okay, I like the way you write. So she's back, out of the blue, saying we were meant to be. That dangerous, toxic message with a picture attached to it. Miss you. I just made it up. Out of the blue, saying we were meant to be, calling it destiny or some cosmic sign. Bravo, bravo. I won't lie, part of me fluttered hearing those words, but there is the kicker. The past isn't just a prologue, it's a shadow. Did you write that? It's not just a prologue, it's a shadow. And hers is kind of dark. The same traits that pushed me to the edge before are still there, maybe even sharper. So, what is the point of this letter? But man, my head is a mess. There's a tug of war inside. She was my first real. Okay. This is where the hard part comes in. She was my first real love. The kind of bond it doesn't just vanish. Yet every time we talk, I see the red flags doing a whole parade. I remember the sleepless nights, the draining fights, the way my dreams had to take a back seat. I mean, maybe that's why you are where you are today, because your dreams didn't have to take a back seat when she was done with your poor self. I don't know. Where was the cosmic science back then? Now she sees me in this new light, and I can't help but wonder, is it me or is it the spotlight that she's drawn to? I have built a life I am proud of, but diving back into this feels like stepping into quicksand. Well, brother, your gut feelings are telling way more than what I can tell you. I guess what I am trying to figure out is, do people really change, or am I just setting myself up for a rerun of a show I barely survived the first time? How do I trust this isn't about the glitter and gold? Is it worth exploring what we had, or am I just being blinded by what could be instead of seeing what it for what it was? I could use some of that clarity you seem to have in spades. What's the move here? Do I give a second shot or keep my peace and keep it moving? Appreciate lending an ear. Peace, Ethan. You unloaded a lot here. Do you see that, Ethan? Do you see that? But like, my first thing is, you don't mention your age. 3 years ago you guys separated. So as time passes, you move more into your prime until your 40s, and then she moves further away from her prime, which is like, let's say 20, 22. And now all of a sudden she sees like you guys were meant to be. Was Mercury in retrograde all this time? And after 3 years, the Mercury goes out of the retrograde, and then she can see the cosmic picture that you guys were meant to be the whole time. Like, one question I would ask, what did she do? Did she just work on herself in these 3 years and then be focused on herself and attain the goals and aspirations she had, or did she just look for somebody else right after you? It's way easier to get over a breakup once you have somebody to bolster it with. What did she do? That's one thing I would ask. But obviously what you did was grind, hustle, make it through for yourself. And the question for you is, She wasn't there in the beginning to help you build this. Do you want her to be there to enjoy it with you? And is it even gonna be enjoyable? I think one thing that man goes through a big time, this is a case for women too. Somebody leaves, they break your self-esteem, break your perception of yourself, break the routine that you were creating. And I'm not blaming her. Maybe you were complacent, maybe you weren't as driven, maybe you got comfortable with her around. I'm not sure what is the case, but she leaves, according to your words. That's a hard bite to swallow, and now she is back when you became somebody. How are you going to rebuild yourself with someone who broke you in the first place? You know, as men, we are reasonable and logical, or at least we aspire to be so. And I don't see the understanding. There is a part of your identity that was left, that was deserted, that was broken up with. Maybe that part wants to come alive and then say, all in all, it wasn't too bad. So it's maybe a little bit of a redemption of an identity, of an ego that doesn't serve you anymore. Because with that brokenness, you poured all into the work that you are doing, and now you are where you are. So this is a question: is it really what I want to do, taking this drama back into my life? And I don't think you have to say a yes or no immediately. You can just go on a few dates, notice how your body is reacting to this quote unquote trauma, because there's always some unsolved issues there, and maybe it will be beneficial for you to hang out for a little bit and then see it for yourself, rather than moving forward with the instincts of emotions. Maybe you can sit down and listen to your gut feelings and override the emotional drama that your brain is trying to fabricate. So that's one thing. I would judge a man with their future. Maybe you didn't seem to have much of a future at that time, and then she deserted you. And you would look at a woman with their past, and now she deserted you because she thought you wouldn't amount to anything, or she got fed up with waiting around. But now she's back after 3 years. So now you have more data to judge her past. She demonstrated an action of not sticking around when things were tough or looked gloomy or didn't seem predictable with you, and then she left you. Now things look more glamorous, more gold and glittery, and then she's back. So this tells her about her past behavior, which might give a little bit of a clue for the future behavior. But the hardest question you ask is the end question: do people really change? And the answer, I want to say, is yes. Because it would be impossible to wake up and live through life without the hope or the belief or the faith that people have the capacity to change, because there are parts of you that needs to change as well. People do change, but people resist being changed. So you have to understand whether they have an innate desire to change, to better themselves, or are you thinking by implementing certain strategies and certain rules and certain boundaries you can change them? If you think you can change them, you won't be able to. If they think they can change and they are willing to change and they are aspiring for the beautiful, inspirational days of the future, there's a chance they can change. But people resist being changed. They aspire to change. It only has to be an internal source though. So I think you already know your decision, but there is some emotional balls you have to juggle around, because obviously the part of you that dropped the self-esteem when you were deserted wants to come back. Is like, yeah, I'm not deserted, now I am wanted. But it's not her who needs to want you, it's you who need to desire you. It's you who has to like you, who has to want you. So once you want yourself, ask yourself, do I want this drama back in my life? Anyways, guys, let's wrap it up here. If you have a better idea, a better advice, please write it in the comments. If you have another Ethan that needs to hear these advices that I just unbuckled here, go ahead, send them this video their way, and let me know what you guys think. This could go the other way too. I know some guys who want to go back with their exes. It can go either way, but this is what I have to say for you, Ethan. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Like, subscribe, share. I'll see you in the next one.